Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for stopping by the channel. So for this video, we're going to be checking out some premium silicone bands from Watch Innovation Straps, a company that's based in Dallas, Texas, and they actually have a brick and mortar location if you wanted to see some of their offerings in person. I do think that some of their strap options are customizable, and these particular rubber bands have a lifetime warranty. On the wrist, I actually paired up one of their blue silicone straps to my Tudor Pelagos Ultra, but they also sent in a couple of other straps to check out. So why don't we flip the camera around and you guys can take a close-up look at some of these silicone bands in the studio. So now that we're in the studio, we can take a closer look at these Watch Innovation silicone straps. And to be fully transparent, this brand sent in these straps to the channel for free, but no money changed hands, and they did not get to preview this video before you guys did. Now there are three different straps in front of me today. I have their polar white as well as charcoal gray with their quick release functionality, and then I have more of their standard silicone straps with this royal blue. It just uses traditional spring bars, which are actually supplied in the packaging. And on the underside, you can see they do have their WIS branding, a nice groove here to help evacuate sweat or dirt from your wrist. And there's obviously a degree of customization available on their website if you want straps in different sizes. And also, you can actually order fitted straps that are curved to conform to specific luxury models. So for example, they said they would send me a fitted rubber strap for my Polar Rolex Explorer 2. And if they do, I'll be sure to post an update on my Instagram. But for now, let's take a look at this royal blue one paired up with my Tudor Pelagos Ultra. It's a 22mm lug opening here. And most of our straps have about a 2mm taper as you get towards the end. So the buckle itself is only 20mm on this particular strap. And I think one of the innovations they have is that their buckles are actually quite thin and they curve to your wrist very well, aiding in the comfort. And when you couple that with silicone bands, which are inherently very supple and very flexible compared to like natural rubber bands, it does really help with all-day comfort in my humble opinion. So for reference, I have a 7.5-inch wrist size. And you can see that I didn't need the extra floating keeper that's normally on these bands because it's a little short for this particular combination. But you can see how well that buckle just conforms to my wrist. And it's very comfortable for all-day wear. Now in terms of overall length, their website does state that these standard straps should be about 120mm on the long end, and then 80mm towards the buckle side. But I actually measured this strap to be shorter than those dimensions would suggest. I got 115mm on this end and then only 75mm on the buckle side, which probably explains why I didn't need that extra floating keeper for my particular wrist size. But why don't we transition and take a look at their quick release straps that are here. You can see on the underside they have quick release hardware installed. This 20mm strap is paired up with my Arctic Maple G-Sar from Marathon, and I think overall it's a really clean look. For this particular buckle, you can see it's slightly different because it's only an 18mm on the buckle side here, but still has a nice curve to it to aid in comfort, and you can see there is normally that floating keeper that is here. Pricing for the quick release spring bars is slightly higher than your traditional ones, coming in at $91 individually. But again, look out for deals or bundle options. Now I wanted to touch on the thickness of these straps because I think that's another thing that aids in the comfort. They're about 4.5mm between the lugs, and then they actually thin out to about 2.5mm by the time you get to the end. That's the portion that loops through the pin buckle here. And that only helps aid in the comfort, in my humble opinion. That being said, because it is 4.5 millimeters at the top side, you do want to make sure that for these straight spring bars, you have lugs that can accommodate that size of strap. You might need to get like a curved option if you have a watch that has very short or cropped lugs. In terms for minor points for improvement, again, I will say that I found that the stated length of these straps was shorter than what was on their website. While I did get 75 millimeters on the buckle end, which does line up with the website, the length of this portion here was short, only at 115 millimeters, when they state 125 millimeters. Now, in terms of another point for improvement, the spring bars that they tend to use seem to be on the smaller side for the opening of these straps, because you really have to get your fingernail down in there if you actually want to reach the quick release mechanism. So I feel like they should have used thicker spring bars, not only on the quick release silicone straps, but also on the one that was supplied for their traditional strap. I don't know how well you can see that spring bar there, but it looks fairly dainty compared to the thickness of the strap that's supplied and fitted to my Tudor Pelagos Ultra. But before closing out the video, I also want to highlight this charcoal gray. I think that this is a really good neutral option that would just pair very well with different color dials on watches. Very similar to the polar white one in terms of a 20 millimeter strap option, floating keepers that are there, similar buckle and the same price, but again, just different color options you can play with. So overall, I do think that this company has a high degree of flexibility when ordering the strap, some really good innovations when it comes to comfort, using silicone, having a nice taper, and really ergonomic buckles. But at the same time, they could potentially use better spring bars. And in terms of pricing, I mean, they're about on par with some other luxury wrist strap brands that are out there. But I'd love to get your guys' feedback as well. So be sure to drop a comment in this video and also consider subscribing to the channel if you do enjoy this content. Thanks again to Watch Innovation Straps for giving me this product for the video, and I can't wait to catch you guys in the next one.